GoPSUSports.com here with wrestling head coach Cael Sanderson and coach getting ready for an exciting weekend. What is the level of focus, energy, and excitement right now?
Well, we're excited. Tomorrow, the wheels on the bus are spinning. You know, we're heading to Wrestle Army on Friday, so it's time to go and it's time to compete. I think these guys are chomping at the bit, really. You know, I mean, we love training and preparing, but there's nothing like competing. So we get to do that this weekend.
With a mix of youth and experience on the team, you know, what can you say just generally about some of your expectations, getting a little bit of taste of competition on the road and back here in Rec Hall?
Well, you know, we value effort. I mean, that's what we look towards as our standard. We want to score points. We want to move forward. We're not trying to win. We're trying to wrestle a dominant style. If we fail or lose in the process, that's good. We'll take that. It's not good, but we'd rather lose, you know, wrestling boldly and aggressively and with enthusiasm than you know, to hold back. And so, you know, that's our generally, you know, how we approach it as a program. That doesn't mean every individual is going to buy into that, but the majority of them will, and that's what we're looking for. We're just looking for effort, enthusiasm, and you know, when you compete, let people know that you love competing.
And then with an experienced veteran and a national champion in Zane Rutherford on the team, you know, in terms of his leadership and how he represents this program, you know, what are your expectations for him and how he's, you know, helping along some of the younger guys?
Well, Zane's just you know, extremely solid as a rock, and just consistent. Yeah, I could sit here and try to come up with something that's wrong with Zane, and I'd be here a long time, because he just does everything right, and his attitude is great. He's trying to get better all the time, and that example, you know, kind of the leadership that we look for and that we try to give this team as a staff is just share our passion with the guys, lead by example. That's it. That's what I believe in, and that's what Zane's doing, you know, as a returning national champion as a junior.
And as we look toward the lineup, just really jumping around, how about first and foremost someone like Nick Siriano, a true freshman coming in with lots of energy? You know, what are you expecting from him?
I'm just excited to watch him compete. I know he's excited. He's you know, he's on point all the time. He's ready to go. He's been ready for this, you know, this opportunity and these moments that are coming up for a long time. So I'm just excited for him to just let him go and see what he can do, and we'll continue to improve throughout the year. And but I think he's ready to win matches right now, which is exciting if you have a true freshman in that position.
And at 141, Jimmy Coulivan, but at the same time, you also mentioned there was a little bit of competition at that 141 area. Tell me a little bit about, you know, how that's been and how Jimmy's embraced that.
Well, it seems like that's been the case for Jimmy from the beginning. I mean, he's had tough wrestle-off matches that have gone back and forth through even when he was a freshman. I think he was battling with Jordan Conaway, who ended up being a two-time All-American. So that's nothing new for Jimmy. That's just part of being in a weight class where there are a number of competitors. But you know, just like your competition, you got to focus on the right things and be the best you can be every day. And whether you're wrestling your team or Army or Stanford, be your best. And that's you know, that's what Jimmy's focusing on right now.
And then another area of competition at a weight class at 174. You know, what excites you about what's happening there right now, and who might emerge?
Well, this weekend we're going to wrestle Gino Morelli, who was an NCAA qualifier last year and won 2 matches. Shakur Rasheed is we're going to send him to an open tournament on Sunday in Binghamton, and he'll have a chance to get a bunch of matches in. But yeah, that weight class certainly isn't finished. That's just you know, we're early in the season, and you know, we want to be the best team we can be, and that part of that is finding out who our best individuals are. So yeah, but that's the plan for this weekend. They'll both be in the same tournament 2 weeks from now at the Keystone Open, which will be at UPenn, and they'll get a chance to have a second wrestle-off there.
And Bo Nickel up at 184. How has he embraced that process and that change in his preparation?
He's the same. He's a bigger kid. You know, he was young for his class, and he's just growing. You know, he might not be done growing. We'll find out. But he's a good size 84-pounder. He's comfortable there. We're comfortable with him there, and he's just got to be himself and go score points like he did last year.
And how about someone like Matt McCutcheon? You know, what type of wrestler is he? And, you know, maybe even beyond that, what type of community service involvement does he have? And you know, what does that mean to the team?
You know, Matt's a leader for this program. You know, Zane, I would say Zane's a guy would be the leader on the mat. You know, Matt's a guy who steps up in roles and helps lead off the mat. You know, he's our sob guy. He's the guy making sure that, you know, we're getting a bunch of community service hours in, and just a good kid. I mean, he's just a solid, good kid. A kid that, you know, you want your recruits to hang around. You want if kids on the team are hanging around him, you know they're in good hands and they're not going to be getting into trouble or making poor decisions. And that kind of leadership, you know, outside of the room is obviously invaluable for a program like ours.
And finally, Nick Neville's at 285. You know, finally being able to be back and fully healthy. What does that mean for him?
Well, I think I'm excited for him. I remember a year ago it was just tough seeing him and knowing that he probably wouldn't get back that, you know, last year, and he was able to get back, but he wasn't 100%. So just seeing him at 100%, seeing him happy and being himself is exciting, and he'll have a couple tough matchups. I think the kid from Stanford is around a 10-11 ranked kid, so you know, he's going to get thrown right into the fire, and we'll see where he's at. But we're very confident in him and excited for him that he's finally healthy and gets to go scrap.
And not to look too far ahead, but after the trip to West Point, coming back here, Stanford and Rec Hall, what does it mean to be able to be back in front of the fans in Rec Hall in that environment?
Well, we love Rec Hall, and we love our fans, and I mean, there's no atmosphere like Rec Hall. It's, you know, you got people hanging over the mat and standing room only, and you know, we're very, very proud of that and grateful for that opportunity, and obviously to keep that going, we got to go out there and compete in an entertaining manner, and even more than winning, just making sure that our guys are fun to watch and they're scoring points. Because wrestling can be boring if guys it's a 2-1 and just hanging on and holding each other down. I mean, you got to make the sport enjoyable, and as long as we do that, I think we'll keep it rolling, and we're excited about that. And Stanford's bringing a great team in here, and I know they're excited about the opportunity, and they got a strong team and some very strong individuals, so it should be a great matchup.
Well, thank you so much, and best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.